Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the International 9-Ball Open Championships. This event is produced by Pat Fleming and coming to you live from the Simonis Aramis Arena here at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel. 112 players came out to this event representing 27 different countries, truly making it an international competition. Before introducing the players, we wish to recognize and thank our major sponsors, Simonis, Aramis, and Diamond Billiard Products, for their continued support in this event, as well as Pool professionally worldwide. Lastly, on behalf of Pat Fleming, the production crew, and the world's best players, we'd like to thank each and every one of you tuned in online and here live at the arena for all your support and everything you've contributed to the game we all love. So without further ado, it's time to introduce our two players and what an exciting event we have and matchup coming to you tonight. First off, coming to us from Chinese Taipei, the 2015 World 9-Ball Champion, sponsored by Fury Cues, it's Ko Pin-Yi. And his opponent, coming to us from Dayton, Ohio, the 2018 Turning Stone 9-Ball Champion, sponsored by High Rock, it's Billy Thorpe. Players may approach the table for lag. Presiding over this match will be referee Ricky Bryant. And now I'm going to send it up to the booth to our two commentators, Mr. Mark Wilson and Jeremy Jones. Take it away, gentlemen.
Serious world-class pools coming to you now from the Accu-Stats Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. Ko Pin-Yi is going up against Billy the Kid, Billy Thorpe. We also have the best color man in the world, the one and only Jeremy Jones. I'm Mark Wilson, and Double J, what should we be looking for in this one?
Well, we got to make a close call already on the lag here, Mark. Pretty impressive, really. Looks like he may have frozen it, that being Ko Pin-Yi. But I expect another well-played match by both these guys. I've watched quite a bit here on opening day on the TV table, and it seems like to me I haven't really seen anybody playing poorly, that's for sure.
Had a lot of great matches already right out of the gate. First round action, a lot of these matchups could be the final match had it drawn differently.
Yeah, it seems to me the guy who figures out the break again, we say that a lot in rotation pool, and it's not so much the break and then like easy runouts, but everybody's playing well, everybody's prepared, so the guys who get shots after the break are the ones that seem to be advancing.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't get an offensive shot, but just first chance to play safe is powerful. This is a race to 11. They're breaking from a box that's 9 inches either side of the head spot. 9 balls racked on the spot. Most everybody's playing a cut break where they try to make the one on the side.
A huge advantage to win that lag and get that opening break. Not only to get on the board first, maybe with sitting your opponent down, but just to get a feel. Got to be liking being the first person at the table, that's for sure.
I think it sets a tone that you've already won something, and then you get there, maybe break, make a ball, play safe, and get that first kill in.
Yeah, and it can work against you, that's for sure, some kind of ways, scratch on the break or something unfortunate, but if you make a ball on the break, you may get going. If you don't make anything on the break, your opponent, he's looking at 9 balls at least, and there's that cue ball, that kiss. And look at the 9. Wow. So big turn of events on that kiss coming across the table and made the 9 in the side. Now, was it the 9 in the side, the 9 that he kissed coming across?
No, I don't think so. Billy the Kid is muscled up, too.
And he's got some issues here, getting from the 2 to the 3 a little bit with the 4, 5, and all that. So we'll see if he tries to pull back and get kind of close to the 2. That way he may be able to manufacture getting on the 3 a little easier. But I kind of anticipate he may have to end up shooting this 3 from some distance, like out in the middle of the table maybe.
Billy's a fearless shot maker. When I was looking at the strengths of both players, naturally banking would we give the check mark to Billy. Tactical side of the game, I'd go with Ko Pin-Yi. This figures to be a really exciting match.
And he got a little bit funny on the first shot. Like, he tries to draw it, and this may be where I come out and just take a long shot on the 3. But if he tries to go around the table, he could have issues, and he can't draw it. He may catch the 8. Okay, now is the 6 going to do anything to him here? That's going to... Okay.
That was quite a recovery shot.
Yeah, now he's got going to have a little speed on the cue ball. He's thin on the 3, and he's a little elevated, just a touch. If he's shooting to the left edge of that 3, he's definitely just over the side of the 6.
All ball falls are in play.
Nice shot. Pretty smart play coming with a mild speed at the 4.
Yep.
That's a good policy when you know you can't really, there's not a definite line, but you know you're going at the next ball. Just come with that bump speed like they play in 3 cushion, like a foot away.
Mm-hmm.
Just boom. And I think he's gotten perfect where he can get on the short side of the 5 mark.
Looks like he can go in the side pocket here too if he wants, and just draw the cue ball to the center of the table.
Yeah,
Or he can go down table.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an angle. I think he can roll it in the side if he chooses. I'd stay away from probably drawing it and just go forward and broaden the angle on the 6, I think. Okay, he went ahead and stunned it over. Nice call. Nice shot, too.
Our angle doesn't portray it quite as clearly as it does to the player at the table, so we're going to go with his judgment. He knew confidently that he could get there.
And we're playing with a 40-second shot clock and 1 extension per game. So that really shouldn't affect Billy much. I wouldn't say he's like silly fast, but he stays in a nice tempo.
Yeah, he doesn't fool around. And Copigny also makes up his mind and executes.
That's a nice stroke there. That's what you got to realize on that. You'd rather keep hitting the ball cleanly like that and take a little more angle on the 8 rather than start trying to get a lot better on the 8 and making a funny stroke on the 7 doing so. Just accept this little chip in the corner and come across the table.
Well, Billy came to play. He made a great lag, and then somehow Copigny froze it. Scratched on the break, and Billy the Kid.
I got to watch
runs
Alvin
out.
play a little bit earlier, and he played great. I didn't get to see him break that much, ironically, but
He played about a 970 something.
yeah, so he was pretty successful on the break. But I did watch Jason Shaw a lot, and he was making the corner ball a lot. But he was also, I think there's that chance, like just we saw in the opening game here with Copigny, that coming across the bottom of the rack really opens up those bad kisses for scratches down in the corner. So
True that.
you're catching the bottom of balls when they're going up and the cue ball coming down. You're catching the bottom of balls, which send you to the end rail sometimes and sometimes into the corner.
Billy the Kid, 22 years old. Copigny, 29. Last night I went to Q Master Billiards. I told my friend, this place is enormous. They have like 50 tables. We got in
72,
there.
I think.
Yeah, 72.
Yeah, biggest in the country, I believe.
Yeah.
More than anywhere.
What I admired was when I got there, Billy Thorpe was practicing and competing, and he looks like a guy that's serious about the sport, which naturally I admire. See what kind of break. Right-hand side of the box. He got a
Okay.
couple of those kisses, 9 in the side.
Wow, there it is.
So 2 breaks, the 9 ball went in the side twice.
Yeah, each side too. And that's weird because it was the opposite side for each breaker. It broke from the left, his left, and made the 9 in his right side pocket, and then quite the opposite with Billy Thorpe.
Been a long day here, but it's been some really entertaining pools. Started off with Justin Bergman winning, going away.
Yeah, he won early and won big.
Yeah.
And Oscar Dominguez up 6-2, I think, over Ruslan right now. Another big match here in the 10:30 slot.
Those two have battled back and forth over the last year and a half or so, quite a bit.
Here as well. They played here a few times.
Well, here we go. Billy Thorpe breaking once again from the right side of the box.
Now, he made the 9, but I don't think he was really that happy with the way he hit him. I think he caught him a little bit heavy. Yeah, a little more cut that time. See if it's going to work out, and it's not. So we're going to get to see Ko shoot his first ball here on the one in the corner.
Yeah, it's funny. The break is so fickle. Here, he hit them much better. The ball action was great. Made nothing. Break before, the cue ball was darting all over, had tons of power left in it, 9 ball fell on the side. So
Yeah, and we'll see if Ko, he has a choice for either side pocket here if he chooses. Could play for a corner as well, but he can come up the left side and play the 2 in the upper right corner, or he could pull the cue ball and play for the 2 in the left side. So
I think he's going to come up and play for the corner. That
yeah,
just
I
looks
would.
like
There's a pretty big opening there and a lot of room. I caught it a little heavy. With the slick cloth, you really got to come out of the corners kind of cleanly, real smooth, or else the ball will hydraulic on you a little bit when it hits that rail real quick with that overspin. But he's still okay. He's just got to ease this in. Oh, that ball skid. He kind of got up on it immediately, like there was a little bit of a bad reaction from cue ball to object ball.
I couldn't see it. He had me blocked, so I just saw that his body language suggested he wasn't happy, and then I looked up and it was rattling around in the pocket. That will certainly not hurt Billy's confidence whatsoever.
No, and he's got to pay attention here from the 3 to the 4, just because the 5's in a funny spot and the 7 is there, so can't afford to get very thin on this 4 ball. I don't think there's a natural path to go around the 7 and still get between the 6 and all that. So this is another good idea. Always, whenever you have that problem, if you can fall down closer to your work, you can manage a lot of things. Like now, he can draw to the side rail between the 6, 7 and back over for the 5 because he's closer to it. So good thinking there by Billy Thorpe.
Yeah, he was aggressive.
And the line was good to do so. That was the main thing. That doesn't always, that's not always offered, of course, but now he can manage something because he's so much closer to the ball.
Boy, what a nice call by you, and what a good execution by Billy.
And Billy, I think he's just improving, and I don't mean just experience-wise. I think fundamentally he's getting better as well. One good point that Johan has expressed, not just to the team, but just an overall opinion of professional pool, is the game has changed a lot. So when the game has changed and balls are made on the break easier, there's a little less movement involved in the game, a little less strategy.
Yeah.
Well, then it's all about being able to repeat what you want to do. So mainly being very consistent, pocketing balls, very consistent breaking the balls, kicking at balls, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Meaning it's not going to come up that much, the moving part of the game. So you got to be real consistent at the offensive side.
What I've noticed over the last 2 years is how much more buff that Billy looks. He looked way more muscle packed on his frame than what he used to have when I remember him
Oh, yeah.
coming to Lindenwood.
All right, he's gotten a little straight here, I think. So don't want to cheat the diamond side pockets too much. So he's going to see if he can just stun the ball just ever so slightly, just to open up the cue ball for the 9 a little bit. So Billy taking full advantage of a couple mistakes by Ko, a scratch on the break on a little bit of an unlucky kiss, and then a missed 2 ball here in game 3.
Which might have been a skid, so both things.
That's just the way I couldn't see it either because the camera, and so It's just the way his body reaction was, and the two hit so thickly up the rail,
Yeah.
like it hit like 3 inches above the point. So 2 to 3 inches above the point, and I just can't see him missing the ball that far.
That is correct. It would be a rare day that he would ever miss a shot by that dimension if it didn't skid.
Yeah, with him being close to the 2 ball like that, and he was trying to put a hair inside lightly on it to come across for the 3. So that's the typical situation. You could get a skid.
Well, Billy's off to a blazing start. However he got there.
Yeah.
Billy's a hyper-aggressive 9-ball player, which that generally wins.
Well, yeah, and I think he's calmed himself down a little bit, I think, here in the last 6-8 months. Now, he's had a 9 on the break, and then really a break he didn't like so much as far as the outcome, so we'll see if that improves. Okay, the cue ball, and that's going to be an illegal, a break that's not, did he make 2?
No. Made 1.
Okay.
Right? 3, 6, 8, yeah. Ricky Bryant got some work to do here with the Outsville racking template because of 2 balls.
If he should just move the 7, the 9 should move easily, so he should be able to lift the rack without moving the 9. We are playing all ball fouls, but not for the referee, though.
And then with the slick gloves on, it's not that easy to be nimble.
Yeah. I was at a tournament not long ago, and I asked the referee to clean the cue ball, and I've never had this happen to me before, and they picked the cue ball up without putting the spacer down.
Yeah.
Just picked it up. Just didn't put a finger down, didn't do anything. Touchy here. Is he trying to go behind the 6? Okay, it's going to get away from him. It's all a matter of speed on the 1 now. Now, that's the type of shot on the slicker table, the real fast table that I try to stay away from unless it's just laying really, really nice.
Good point.
Like with the 2 being pinned on the back rail, he could have chipped the right side of the cue ball and tried to come 3 rails and get him behind the 4, sending the 1 up around the 6, and if he leaves him a shot, Coe's got to come with a long, tough one on the 1 and come all the way back down table. So,
well, on top of that, if you miss that object ball hit by a 16th of an inch, and then you're including side spin where you get squirt, and then the super slick, it can go this much awry where you just absolutely hand over a gift.
well, and I think you can almost hit it like you exactly want to, and the speed of the table, it could still get away from you. Just it doesn't take much. So
yeah, you're moving both balls, and it's
Right.
super dangerous.
And he wasn't close to it either. He was shooting from some distance on the cue
Right.
ball. So it's a lot of work here still, though. You'll notice the 5 over near the point that he's standing over right here. He's still got to slow the cue ball down for this 4 ball. Whether is he going to go up into the 9 lightly? That's what it looks like. Okay.
Trouble.
And that's what I mean as far as these tables are really fast. They can get away from you quickly.
Well, that was out of control. All he had was speed control. He did hit it lightly, so it didn't get to the side pocket, but it was going straight into the side pocket.
Yeah, he's still got the advantage because he should be able to roll this in, and if he doesn't get where he likes, the 9's gotten to where he can play safe on the 5 pretty easily.
Yeah, with the basic stop shot.
Yeah. Now, it'd be interesting to see if he falls kind of straight on this and what he does as far as run out. He'll have to shoot the 6 from the rail and then probably the 7 from a little bit of distance. So he's going to go ahead and make sure and play safe here. He didn't even flirt with the position on the 5, which is another good point you should take. Don't say, oh, well, if I get here, I can do this. If I get there, I can do that. Make your decision on which one's best. That way you get ideally where you want.
Now, he keeps going over and looking at it like he wants to play it, but I'm like you. What's wrong with a stop shot here and just pin the 5 ball over there behind the 6?
Oh, he's certainly not going to shoot at this. I mean, it may be past the point, but on a slick table, you could still easily go on the side. Wow, what a shot. Great shot.
Yeah. now you have to avoid a mental letdown because you just made a fantastic shot.
And he's right on the 50 to where if he hits it naturally, he's going kind of towards the 9. So if he puts a lot of right spin, the shot becomes a little more difficult if he puts inside. So he's going to put a hair inside and just float towards the 7, I'm sure. Like so. That way, if he gets a little thin on the 7, he can still draw his ball to the side rail for the 8.
Mm-hmm. In the mid-range, and then to include inside spin, which we use far less than we do outside, that was good control, good command. Suggests that you have to hit the pocket cleanly to get the cue ball go like this. If you rattle at home, the cue ball gets away from you pretty easily.
Yeah, and that floating into position speed is really essential on this table. These slick tables, you really have to, if you want to play them well, you have to trust that rollout of the cue ball. Because side spin can get away from you. If you're starting to put a little more speed on the ball, trying to move it around, well, side spin can cause you to miss some balls, that's for sure.
Well, world-class run out there by Copigny. He now trails 1-3.
Yeah, and after kind of a weird opening to this match, a scratch on the break that gave up the first game, then Billy coming back with a 9 on the break in the second game, and then an unexpected miss on the 2-ball by Copigny in the third game. So to get on the board there, it's got to be a little relief.
Right. Well, he definitely looks in command of his game. So both players playing great here at the beginning. A couple unfortunate steps by Copigny. Billy Thorpe has really exerted himself with every opportunity. Skylar Woodward looking on, cheering on his comrade, Billy Thorpe. Pat Trainer's here, all the way from St. Louis with us tonight. Ringside, John Armpriester. Little Co, right behind his brother, texting his friends. Can't read what he's saying. Something about Jeremy Jones tomorrow. That's Jeremy's opponent tomorrow. What time do you play, Jeremy?
6:30. 6:30, which I think is the ideal time as far as take advantage of some of the practice time on the dinner break. I like that. So.
Veteran comment there.
Oh, yeah. Been coming here for a long time.
He knows what's up.
There's that cue ball below the rack again. So we've seen some guys that have been successful today with that. Jason Shaw, you kind of got to feel a little fortunate to keep coming away with shots. So if the cue ball's below the spot.
Well, in Jason's case, he attacks the 9-ball with the cue ball there, and he tattooed it 3 or 4 times in his match where it was the 9-ball got a couple cushions out of that thing. And last year, almost every match, he made a 9-ball on the break doing that.
Well, he also hits them harder than probably most everyone does in this for this cut break. Okay, another big shot here. He's got to let his stroke out a little bit. But again, this is one that he's got enough angle. You don't want to just cream it. You want to trust moving that cue ball. Table's fast. Nice shot.
Boy, hit the absolute heart of the pocket, bounced the cue ball out there free of the cushion.
And this one's touchy as well because he's got to put a little draw to get by the 7, but not too hard to go past the 5 running out a couple rails. So this is another one when you're close to it, this shot becomes so much easier like he is right here. If he was another foot or so away, this shot becomes much more difficult, and mainly just the cue ball.
Might overrun it.
Yeah, that's what you got to be really aware of that. You got to know anytime you're drawing off the ball, you automatically are putting a little extra on it. So you got to be really aware of coming out of that corner.
Right. Yeah, you have to, what Jeremy's saying, you have to have enough spin to carry all the way to the object ball, and then when you do that, that means you have to hit it a little bit harder. So.
And I thought he was plenty close enough to where he could manage that shot. You know, you get a little distance, now you got to keep the draw on the ball to get by the 7 and still mild enough to hold for the 3. So he's got a decision here. And shot clock running down on him. He's playing safe, I'm sure. Okay, I'm not sure that's going to be any good. Looks like he's going to give him a piece of it. touchy, though.
Well, Big Co might be just a little bit twitchy right now, trailing
Well,
and hasn't
you know,
really got dialed in.
First
so.
round, and
Right.
it's the latest round of the day at 10:30. They had to wait for a little bit of a long match, so you could certainly have not be exactly ideal right now. Okay, and I didn't mind his shot at all right there. I know it looks like a kind of like a you win or I win kind of shot, but he meant the cue ball to float behind the 5 a little bit, and he was in a very difficult spot to play safe. So, and as Mark talked about earlier, Billy being one of the greatest bankers on the planet.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, another one here. This is touchy. I kind of like going forward here. 3 rails in between the 7-9, just laying on the side rail, the right side rail, if you're looking at your monitor. I think downward hit kind of brings the side pocket and the 9 in play. Okay, overcut it a bit.
The inside spin maybe squirted the cue ball a bit more than he thought, and Billy Thorpe comes to the table with another ideal opportunity.
Okay, he's just got to pull his ball back out for the 5 in the corner where he's standing. Okay, looks like he can hold his ball right there, huh, Mark? Just for a little bit of a cut on the 6, which bring you naturally back for the 7? I think so.
If anything, it's going to drift a hint to the left, but it's pretty straight, so it won't go far.
It seemed like you could kind of pinch hold it or even draw it back a couple inches and hold it pretty decent. He's going to go forward, it looks like.
Which means that he has a little more angle than we're seeing, and he's confident to go forward. He can play it in the corner or the side. He's going for the side.
No, you better hope he doesn't get a little straight here. Being a little elevated over the 8, this could get a little funny, that's for sure.
And here on the overhead, you can see he did get just where you said not to get, so now he's got to go in the corner pocket. I don't think he can jam that.
Well, the problem is being a little elevated, believe it or not. Also, if you need to put a little side spin on it, it could get a little funny.
Oh,
Great shot.
Muscled up, powered it in, forced the angle. And there was not much angle because when the cue ball at that velocity goes just barely past the side, that indicates there wasn't much to work with there. That's a very easy shot to miss if you flinch.
Billy looking pretty solid here. The one thing we kind of tried to work on, Billy and I, a little bit was his pre-strokes, just a little bit, not so much a wind-up anymore, be a little cleaner on the delivery, and work on that little pause before the cue ball.
I would imagine him to be very coachable, too.
Oh, yeah, now that one got away from him a little bit. And that was a little bit of that wind-up, a little bit more of that wind-up early delivery. So you kind of lose your timing when you do that. And it feels good for a little while, but when you lose your timing, it's a hard way to recover. Nice shot and good out there.
Yeah. Oh, he's a fearless shot maker. I have to credit him with that. He brings that part of it to the game, and now he needs just a little bit more technical proficiency.
Well, one thing, he's been around pool for a while, and one thing about Billy, it's that fine combination of he respects and loves all these players, but he doesn't doubt himself when it comes to if he can beat them or not, or even if he might admit that, hey, I'm not technically or odds-on favorite to win the tournament, he still believes he's not much of an underdog, that's for sure.
All right. He's got that fighting spirit of a gunfighter.
And after 5 games, leads 4-1.
I know back home, my Lindenwood team is listening in. Big shout out to Robbie Patrick. Kids played amazing.
It seems from what I see on the old social media, they all play pretty darn well.
Yeah, Robbie's been tearing it up. He's kind of like a young Billy the Kid. Right now we have Chris Robinson in this event that participated at Lindenwood.
Yeah, and just coming off a second-place finish this past weekend at Elizabeth City. losing in the final to Chris Melling. Okay, now he's not getting that one in the side, and he's not getting the wing ball either. So he's going to have to change a little something.
You know, he hit those much better, too. The
Oh,
action.
no, yeah, the action was great. The cue ball went on the line because we were practicing together before this match a little bit, specifically on the break, and we were both had Shane SVB was helping us a little bit as well, and the line of the cue ball that we were talking about was just perfect.
Not to distract the match, but what's been working some cases is guys have been drawing the cue ball 3 rails.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple that were mishits that actually worked out. They didn't want to hit them that fat, but they spun it so much it kind of deflected into a little more, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Albin Ocean do that a couple times on accident. Yeah. At least it seemed like he thought it was a mishit, you know, like because the other breaks he wasn't trying to do that. So,
Well,
a lot of work still here.
yeah. And he kind of got right in that middle area here where you have to execute a delicate stroke. We certainly fully expect him to get the 2 ball, but
Yeah.
a little more work than he probably was anticipating.
It lays nice for a slick table, though, because even if you put a little right with it diving down, it's not going to bite back on you too much and get thin on the 3. It should still come up plenty high enough like this, see? Now he's gotten a little straight because the 5 to the 6 is the issue here.
He may settle in for a long shot on the 4 rather than try to get back that far. I think just draw back 6 inches or something.
I agree, but he doesn't want to be straight on the 5. So now the 4 isn't really too much of the issue, believe it or not. You're definitely right. He's going to have to shoot it from distance, but he wants to be able to have an angle on the 5 to come across the table for the 6. So he doesn't want to get on the rail like flat because you're coming one rail right into the back of the 7-8. So he's got a little bit of work here, especially getting straight in on the 3. He cheated it nicely.
Yeah, really smooth end of the pocket to extract the cue ball from the cushion so he can get his bridge hand down. And he worked the cue ball a little closer, and that was
totally intentional.
a world-class shot.
And that's that good stroke opens up the pocket a little bit. If you're one that pokes at the ball a little, that ball could easily wobble. But he knows with a good stroke that ball was going to be accepted. So
Well, that's the difference between crude backspin versus effective backspin.
Right. And he's come out 2 rails, and don't baby this one too much. There's really not too much angle you can't handle.
He didn't overdo it either and get thin on that ball, which made the rest of the rack play super difficult. Now he can just come 2 cushions behind the side pocket.
Yeah, but he's got work because the 7 he needs to play long. So if he falls on the rail right here or something like that, things could get a little funny. So he definitely wants to get down there far enough. He can't get thin on the 6, but he doesn't want to go too far either. So this is a big shot.
He caught the pocket really pure, so his speed's going to be good.
And that nice 6-7 inches off the rail, which is always always pretty sweet. It's one thing I tell a lot of people: you can handle a lot of little angles if you keep that cue ball off the rail.
Almost like it skidded a little bit again, didn't it? Because it really checked up off the object
off the
ball.
6, yeah. Pretty natural, though, to knock this in and go to the rail. Of course, he'd like to be pretty straight where he could just kind of hold his ball and shoot the 8 in the side. But
Always for a player, it's not the issue whether he can make this shot. It's the fact that he wasn't anticipating getting there, and then the ball's conspired against him, so it randomly gets there, and then it's like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I've always been one that think that skids happen about 90% of the time from a stroke you put, more than maybe a dirty ball or something, something like that. So, I'll shake my head whenever I don't get ideal position, but I get a little bit off. But I don't really shake the head at where I got the cue ball. It's the stroke I put on the ball that bothers me. Mm-hmm. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, why are you so upset about the position you're in?" And I told them I'm not upset about the position I'm in. I'm upset at the delivery I made. Because I don't want that to happen again.
No, exactly. Well, that was a world-class run-out right there.
Oh, yeah.
If I was a judge and this was some type of a judged event, I would give 2 games for that run-out.
Right.
It's just that tough. He made that look pretty smooth. There's our rack track. First 3 racks, Billy Thorpe. Now we've traded racks back and forth. 4-2 is our score. long way to go. Race to 11. We also have, in the collegiate pool world, we have the University of Illinois and Zishan listening in. How cool is that?
Yeah.
There's not much more that could be heartwarming for me than to see the growth of the sport through the college ranks. And they're so excited. And you know what? Every one of them has said they're so happy that you're part of the broadcast team tonight.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
These kids listen in. They know what they're hearing.
Well, they
Glad
got
to
all
have-
the devices.
Yep. Yeah, and know how to work them. They're always like, hey, Coach, let me help you here on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
That post. I'm over there in Neanderthal, man.
Yeah, I get looked at like I'm pretty dumb a lot in the household because of my technology is gone by me, that's for sure.
All right, Cole, trying to get something generated from the break here. Goes to the outer edge of the left-hand side of the box. Caught it pretty nice.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything down, though.
No, I didn't either.
Now, the one's going to get covered up. Ooh,
This will be interesting.
this is where push-outs become usually very difficult when there's clusters of balls because the being able to play safe is usually easy. But this is going to be interesting. He got almost where he could kick at the 156 and the 6 be playable, but it rolled over just a touch and not really too much of a play there. Sure like to roll and tie something up right here before I roll out and tie something up in this situation, I'll tell you. It sounds like Billy's going to use his extension here.
If nothing else, you can just roll the 2 up to the long rail there, just past the side pocket and just try to pin it to the cushion there, and then kick at the 1 lightly and take your chances because...
He's going to try and kick and stick now on a slick table. This is tough. Wow. Heck with it.
That's
There you
wide
go.
open.
There
I'll
you
have
go.
to say.
He's okay here, though. He's got to hit it well, but he can hit this with the top right English and go right in between that 8-4 back out to the center and cut the 3. The 4's over the side. So this is doable. Just kind of smooth this in here. Got to check it up a little bit, I think, with a little right. Oh, he went twice. Okay. That's going to work out, I think. Nice
Yeah,
shot.
it did. Good execution. He did not baby that and floated. He went aggressive. After the kick shot on the 1, that's the thing. You really need to cash that in if you're going to be that hyper aggressive.
Well, yeah. You know, I can't hardly blame Billy on the kick shot, believe it or not. I mean, he was going to be in a bad situation rolling out. I didn't really see anything easy to roll out as far as tying a ball up either. So moving that 2 to that side rail near that point might have done it, but then you're giving up a piece of the 1, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're certainly not going to criticize his judgment.
Okay, you got to watch this where it don't go too far. He's okay.
I'm not real fond of it because now he's coming across his position zone. Had he stayed on the other side of it, he has 2 cushions at the 6 rather than across the line.
Yeah, but with the 9 being there, you don't want to get thin coming those 2 cushions down. So I'm not saying I don't love that, but sometimes you just got to use your talent. You know what I mean? Like use your skill to float into position. That's a big part of professional pool.
Well, he got right in the window where he needed to be, so that was well executed. And he lets out a little sigh of relief there. It's a big rack right here, too, for Billy Thorpe. And you wouldn't think at the end of the first third of the match that this would be a big rack, but to come from a kick shot like he had and to make it happen and then create a rack, and then it can easily morph into yet another game.
Got a little bit on the 50 here, so you should still don't worry about a little distance. Just kind of ease it out with a lot of inside. Come up by the head string.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not quite that far, but that's fine too. It's a lot better than trying to hit the ball a little firmer and using 3 or 4 rails up the table, especially on the slick cloth, because you can really lose the aim, because a little bit of the swerve of the cue ball can really cost you.
Yeah, that's right. And be shooting at the 8, and if he smooths this down there, the pocket plays pretty big now.
Yeah, he may play 2 cushions across, so he may just play for 1.
Good shot there. Billy Thorpe creates something from nothing. That's how you beat these great players. You have to make it happen. You can't wait and hope to go 50-50 on the gunfights. 5-2 is our score. The Torpedo out in front. Big Co, not yet untracked.
Yeah, a lot of this is, Billy, I guess, would be on paper, would be a little bit of an underdog in this match, maybe. I don't know. But a lot of us just believe in what you can do with your opportunities. It's 9-ball.
Well, Billy's doing it. He's playing at a 971 clip.
Oh, yeah.
That gets it against anybody.
Yeah, well, I hit him up a little bit this week before he came out and asked him how it was going. You've been doing this, doing that. And he said, yeah, I've been training hard, been playing. So
I think it's evident.
He seemed very confident.
It's one thing to say the words, but you can kind of look and see what's been going on. And I noticed last night when we were at the pool room, I was there for 4 hours playing on their 5x10. That way I don't look that bad. They think, well, that's a hard table.
Yeah, it is.
It was great. But Billy was playing, I think he's playing James Aranis last night over there.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you noticed it, but just overall, he's just a little bit slower demeanor around the table. And it's going to bode well for him if he keeps it up, I believe. You just got to look around at all professional sports, and the highest level, when they get a chance to take their time, they do. Doesn't matter what it is. Basketball, they run up and down the court and they get fouled. They don't just catch the ball from the ref and throw it up there at the free throw line. They do their business. They, go through their usual routine, whatever that may be.
Right.
Same thing. Pitcher on the mound, a baseball player in the batter's box. He doesn't get in there until he's fully comfortable. So.
Right. So Billy's going airborne here.
And he's trying to just take things away from Mr. Co. Okay, he's going to give up a shot, but not an easy one, especially look at where the 2's at and look at where the 3's at. So can't get easily for the corner, and he's got to make one heck of a shot to get back on this side of the table. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him play safe here. If he knew a little 1 pocket, he could 2-rail the 1 towards the 8, try and make it and drop behind the 2 for position in the same corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great call.
Oh, no, the 4's in the way on the 2-railer, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Well, he can for sure protect the cue ball.
Yeah, right. Just move it to the end rail, like behind the 8, maybe 2 rails, something like that.
Right. I don't know if we have time to get the overhead, but if we can, we will definitely have Double J show us. Yeah, we can't get it, I guess. But anyway.
Well, he's going to go offensive, and he's going to put a little speed on this, trying to create a little deflection off the 1 to get to this side rail and come back up table. Probably somewhere near the 5 is what I'm guessing.
Boy, I think it's...
He's got to hit it well, though.
I think it might be too aggressive.
Well, I think he feels like he may have a little bit of a bigger pocket with the 4 being there near the corner, so it's a shot you can let your stroke out. The thing is, there is a scratch up in the corner if you hit it really well. See where he caught the 4 ball there? I think there was a little bit of a bigger pocket, which made it a little more enticing.
Well, he gambled and won, no doubt about that. Now he has to cash it in. You can't gamble to gamble. You need to win with this shot. And he's looking at the point. He's a little concerned about the point in the side pocket.
I don't think he can get shape this time. I think he may be able to make the 2 in the corner, but I don't think shape is doable. I think it'll hit the point and kind of stall right there. So I think you're going to see him put him behind the 7.
Just roll up on the 7.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Get the 2 behind the 8. That's one big part of it.
Oh, that's ugly. That's going to be hard to deal with there effectively.
Billy's going to have to kick by the 7 and try and edge the 2 and come back up a little bit. He's not looking at that shot. He's going to try and bend the cue ball right here, and that's okay. But if he doesn't have this, he's got a nice kick to that side rail over here by the 7 and trying to hit the 2 and either go back up table or hit behind it and go back up table. There's a lot of positive things that can happen. Of course, he's trying to make this. Wow.
What a shot that was. He had to warp the angle in there, and it wasn't laying on the rail.
And he kind of smoothed it in, didn't he? Too
Lord.
clean.
That was good.
So now he's a little bit funny on the 2-rail kick, too, hitting past the side. He's going to, I don't know, if he spins it a lot, he may go by the 3 and not hit it at all. So he's going to try and get to this end rail, maybe. Shoot him between the 7-9 with a lot of spin. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's trying to go 2 rails. Ooh. This is really touchy. Another one, if he puts much side spin, he could go right around it.
I think he's going right at it now. No.
Well, is he going to get a roll behind the 5? Is he going to get a roll behind the 5? I think so.
Yeah, it looks like it. Going to force Co to deliver.
He's going to go to the
some
jump
billiards.
cue. Yeah, he's going to the jump cue. Both these guys are pretty incredible with the jump cue. It's Co brothers.
Boy, what a nice smooth stroke.
Yeah, never overhit it. Never.
The form with that, you saw his head lean forward into it to get more cue behind him, and that seems to aid accuracy quite a bit with the jump cue. He's got another big shot in front of him here.
This isn't easy. He needs to pull the cue ball back at least about a foot at least. He'd prefer about 18 inches or so, but
with the
can't just stop it, that's for sure.
Well, I think he might. You think he's going to be aggressive enough to pull back a foot?
You can't stop with the 9 there. You got to get clear of the 9. You can't be elevated over the 9 ball. That's for sure. So that was hit really well.
It was. He made it look so easy and so smooth.
Now, if this 7 in the side's any kind of funny, I'm coming over for the 7 up long, or even up for the 7 in the upper corner. So better watch it.
Yeah,
But I think that's correct. If it's any kind of funny on the side, I don't like fooling with the side pocket, trying to come backwards too much.
Yeah, I think he's going in the corner, right?
Wow, he's not shooting the corner?
Well,
He's close to it and all, so I guess this is okay.
These are clearly guys that play a lot of pool, making little fine distinctions. Smooths the cue ball to the center of the table. That's the most valuable position zone. Third win for Big Co, trailing in the match 3-5. Another player listening in, the Mankato Slim, Taylor Hansen. She's got the smooth transition, much like Big Co.
Billy Thorpe with a 973. Co with an 824.
The captain of Team Taipei walking out, talking to the referee.
Yeah, there was a translation of some sort.
Yeah, his name's John. He's a great guy. John, I met him at Teachers where you played there.
Oh, okay.
St. Charles, yeah. He went to school around there. Played a lot of pool. Great guy. And now he's kind of the captain of the 10 players from Chinese Taipei that's here.
Well, he's got him got quite a stable then.
Yeah, exactly right. He got the super firepower. I saw a picture of him at the airport. I'm thinking, boy, what a pool team that is.
Oscar Dominguez, a simple 9 ball away from going up 10-5 on Ruslan Chinnikov.
Yeah, Oscar appears to be a man on a mission here.
Well, put a lot of time in today. I was watching him off and on. Every chance he got, he hopped on the table and got a little practice in. So
hard not to admire and respect that. I remember back in the day, Nick Varner, nobody hit more balls at the tournament site than Nick Varner. Today, it's Shane Van Boening. Big go breaking. Let's see if he can find the range on the one ball here. Nope.
there's that kiss again. He made one on the break, though, but I've seen it where it came out okay. A couple years ago, I made a decent run in this tournament at the U.S. Open here in this venue, and I played Shane Van Boening on the loser side. Shane ended up winning the tournament, but he broke the balls, and the cue ball was below the rack like that every game, and he ended up getting a shot, just a gap or whatever. And I talked to him about it, and he was like, well, I had to make a ball in the break. So he was playing the one in the side more.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're making the one on the side, you're not, odds are that sometimes the ball ain't going to be so far away from you. But if you're not making the one on the side and you're dropping this cue ball below the rack, I think you're going to have big problems.
The worst of it. Yeah.
Cross corner here, too thin. He's going to lose the cue ball in the side pocket.
Oh, boy. Well, this is that pivotal moment where you can really hurt a player psychologically if you take advantage of this and cash it in. It's not that big of a deficit, but now you've given one away, and the guy's breaking. It can easily morph into a number of games. So
now Billy's got to be aware of this 8-ball, so he'll draw in between the 8 and the side pocket, dropping down for the 2, I assume. I don't think he'll try and get past the 8. Doesn't want to catch the 8, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not that fond of this. I think he should put the cue ball over there and draw back down rather than try to use the cushions.
Oh, no.
Well, this is the exact reason that he got away with it.
Well, there's a bigger area. I think the area was okay. Just it was a little bit of a shot that needs some attention, though. You mean set it kind of underneath it on the rail and draw back? Naturally draw back. Yeah. And I wouldn't. I think the 8's a little in the way there, doing that too. But
But you have the cue ball so much closer.
Of course, you can be very accurate.
That's That's the reason I prefer that shot.
Okay, it looks like he's snookered himself. He's putting right English on this. So is he trying to come up in between, or he snookered himself? Oh no.
Well.
Okay, so just as you had talked about, this is a huge moment to take full advantage of a situation like this. You can't win the match. Of course, we're only at 5-3, but as far as giving Mr. Coe a big reprieve after making a mistake.
Right,
so.
and someone as dangerous as him, you certainly don't want him to feel any momentum. And no matter what, we've all did that. You have ball in hand, and then the very next shot, you're trying to play safe.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm just saying, I think there's a time where maybe what you said, slow it down, use a little more of the 40 seconds, and think about it, because he set it out there in the center without even a thought to the other shot.
Right.
And it's a borderline call, no doubt. But
well, the main thing is get to that next ball, get the run started. And especially, I tell that to all levels, but great players, they got to be reminded of it sometimes too, that you're so good. If you just get the run started, make sure you get to that second ball, just like playing straight pool, kind of like when guys re-break the rack too often right after they break it open the first time. You run some balls, get the run started, and usually you figure it out.
The other part of it is that always you're looking at the whole rack. No, you got to get 3 balls. So just fight to get 3 balls and then play safe.
Right.
And then a lot of times what you're saying, now there's the 4th ball, there's the 5th ball, and then now you got momentum. Now you can take a little more of a risky shot. But get 3 balls with ball in hand no matter what we do.
Okay, that's going to fall above it. That should be okay. I just rarely come out for that side pocket myself. I just come 2 rails and shoot that 8 in the corner, but maybe I'm starting to realize that might not be the way to play it, but.
Well, interesting turn of events there, and it goes from potentially 6-3. Instead, it's 5-4, Billy Thorpe in front. But psychologically, that has to be a blow to knock it out, or at least do something more positive. He made a bad position shot and then tried to force a safety that wasn't there. Followed it up with a bad safety, cost him the game.
real quickly, he's cost him 50 points on his Accu-Stat on this percentage. He was at about 973, I believe. Now at 925. Co-climbing.
Did Skyler have the day off? Do you know?
No, Skyler won earlier at 8:30. Yeah.
He's a funny kid. I like him. Last year here, he was on. He was in a match on the break, and he was on his phone. And I pointed at him. I pointed at Johansson, and I said, "I'm like this," because he's smiling and laughing. He's so lighthearted. No pressure's too big for Skyler Woodward. All right, here we go.
All right, he made a ball last time. Okay, he hit those. Now he's going to catch a scratch in the side off the kiss.
Now
He's shaking his head, wondering which way do I have to go.
He knows that he has not been the beneficiary of too many good fortunes.
Yeah. Well, the balls are a little congested, so the first three you can see are very easy on the 1, 2, and 3, and then the 4 is very available, but the 5's a little funny. So you start to work through the rack with not a whole lot of room. You got to pay attention, that's for sure.
Well, something happened. We have an injury. They're looking for the trainer. Something's wrong with Billy's finger or hand.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm still not too happy about the call Joe West made out there in right field. Did you see that?
No.
Did you hear about it where the fan interference?
Yeah, I did see it. I saw it on the replay. I didn't know that was Joe West, Country Joe West.
Yeah. And one thing I wish they would look at in those things, is, especially for baseball, is don't force a guy that's 100 feet away to make a call. Just say, hey, I don't know, and go to the tape and then make the call from there. Because they wouldn't overturn it because there wasn't enough evidence. Well, so they go with the call on the thing, so call on the field. But it should be one heck of a series, I think. And I think the Dodgers got a little better chance than people give them credit.
Well, you know I'm a National League man, so.
Yeah, I used to be. I was pretty upset when the Astros moved to the American League, but at least we got away from them Cardinals. That's all.
All right, here we go. In between the 5 and 8 here?
Yeah, just mildly, though. You can't let it get away from you.
Good job.
That should be all right. Now, he needs to, this is where he needs to take his time. This is where you slow down. Yeah, exactly. You don't get down and just shoot a ball. You really haven't looked and thought about what you really want to do with the shot.
Billy grabs his extension from his case. I always wonder why guys come to the match and not have all their equipment ready. Just because here we are on the shot clock. It's not a big deal. He's a fast player. But
well, that's one piece of it. If you don't play with it, you might not think of. Uh-oh. Oof. That's where I know you don't think so, but I may have looked at the 5 in the side.
Yeah.
Because it laid easy to just spin it with a little left, and the 8 wasn't that close a second ago. He could have just crept up towards the 5 pretty easily.
The 5 even goes in the far corner pocket if need be. If you do get funny.
And now he's got to hit this really well, going around the 8 and 9 3 rails and taking a little bit of a shot on the 6 if he can kiss this 5 down. Nice shot. Oh, he went ahead and played it with speed. I thought he would just creep in between the 7 8. Oof, this is getting funnier.
Yeah.
You saw a big swallow right there and a little big gulp by Billy.
Now Billy knows that
there in his throat.
Super important shot here. Elevated, back cutting, then just don't miss the ball, even if you don't get right position here.
Yeah, kind of. Again, kind of wind up a little bit on the stroke.
Well.
And this is mentally going to be very challenging for Billy because here in this first 9 games, everything's really kind of went his way overall. And now after what might be 10 games, he'll be tied up at 5 apiece. So he's going to have to check himself a little bit.
And he's kind of let the last two games slip away also, and you don't want to put Big Co back into the match yourself because he can do it on his own without you helping him.
Yeah, and one thing for Billy, that may be a little refreshing as far as making a mistake, and Co hasn't really broke the balls very successfully at all. Even when he made a ball, the cue ball's been below the rack. He's had a couple of scratches and really winding up with difficult situations after the break.
That's true, but you don't want to let him continue to pound away
Oh,
because he'll figure it out.
It doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit off the speed, whatever, but
Maybe
a little luck even. Just a kiss here and there.
Right.
He could run the next 6 racks, that's for sure.
If I was Co's coach, I would go with that draw thing because that seemed to be working a couple times a day when they weren't going otherwise.
Well, I'm a little surprised on the miss on the 6, but it wasn't an easy shot, that's for sure. You had to elevate because he was dealing with a scratch in the upper left-hand corner.
And he'd just gone through a tough series of balls, too, and it's easy to lose your focus or lose your energy a hair.
And, he made a great shot on the 5, but when you run the cue ball around the table for the side pocket, it's like, Murphy's Law can get in that one place where it makes everything difficult. Everything becomes just kind of funny.
Yeah, I'd no sooner said, just don't miss the ball, even at the expense of position. Just don't miss that ball, and then defend yourself or be a shot maker or whatever on the 7. Easier said than done, of course, and we've all made the same mistakes.
I'm wondering if when he had a little help with the translation there, if he was mentioning something to the referee about the rack.
Yeah, it's interesting. The players cannot ask for a re-rack. They're using the Outsville racking template. They can look at it, but then they have to accept it unless the balls are out of order. And that would be the 1, 9, and 2 have to be in their respective places.
Right.
Well, the one ball just goes high. This time the wing ball did finally shoot in once.
But he's really got to ask for a gap, a long distance gap every time. If the cue ball's going to spin 2 rails like that back below the rack, I mean, like I said, it happened for Jason Shaw. But of course, Jason was making 2, 3 balls a lot sometimes, so gaps are a little easier to find when you're making 2 or 3 balls on the break.
Yeah, it looks like Co feels comfortable that he can pocket this one.
Wow, it's awfully tight.
That's what I thought too, but he's bent over. I can kind of tell by his body language he likes it.
He's spinning it with a little left. You can see he's cueing a little bit left on the cue ball. So he must be able to float it in. Oh, wow. He could address it with a high ball. I thought he was hitting downward on it a little bit, kind of like twirling it in a little bit, kind of throwing it.
No, I think he used the side spin just to get around the 2. I don't think it was. I thought the way his body language suggested he had a full ball to hit.
And he's got a decision here because of the 3. He's kind of flirting with that side pocket, and he's dead straight on the 2, I think. Or pretty straight anyway. So as he just stop and take the shot on the 3, which will, with the 6 being how it is, you don't have to get great on the 4, so. Okay.
He wouldn't have minded just a little more away from the rail, but I think he's okay.
Yeah. He should be able to hold it up pretty nice, but again, with the 6 being so easy to get on, I would have played it a little more simple on the 3, I think, because position on the 4 is, you don't have to be great on the 4 to hold for the 6, so.
Right. Well, he made a nice recovery shot. Now he's right back in line.
And I noticed him on a couple of shots, he kind of threw the cue as well. Pretty surprised. Come out of his hand a little bit.
Very loose with his grip.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a look at the 7-9 combo just in case he doesn't want to try to work the cue ball too much from here.
I think the 7-9 is probably the shot from here.
Yeah, very nice.
And just play naturally. One thing about making them balls, if you play it the way the cue ball wants to act naturally, the ball goes in a lot easier, it seems like. And now with his first lead.
Yeah, and the first break and run, I mean, everything kind of, Billy let a couple racks slip away. I knew that was a delicate spot there when he had ball in hand that didn't get on the two.
Yeah.
And not to be critical of Billy, I don't mean it like that, but it doesn't take much to get Ko back into the match.
No, we're playing winter break, so, Ko, after the first 3 games and then after a few other things happening, you tell him he's 5-5 after 10 games. With all that, he'd be pretty happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And breaking at 5-5, and now you saw our first break and run.
Yeah. Copenhagen has pocketed more balls thus far in the match. 46-43 is the score in the ball count, and that's an important number to know. He's made more errors, but I think Billy's have been more costly.
Yeah, well, 2 of his errors there were kisses on the cue ball in the side pocket on the break. Our referee having a little difficulty, it looks like, getting the 1 ball frozen.
I think it's more the deal with using gloves. It's so slippery, it's hard to lock those balls up because those templates work really well if you can just...
Yeah, this one here, you want to load 8 of them and then you push them up together and just add the 9th ball, the 2 ball in the back. You shouldn't have to touch the rack. After you put the 2 ball on, the rack should be secure. That's how this rack is designed.
Hill 6-5 is our score. Copenhagen in front and breaking.
I wonder if he'll put a little more oomph on this one. No, stayed pretty controlled. Just nothing on the break. Oh, 5 ball's going to slide in. Now the cue ball's going to get covered up by the 2. I think so.
That's got to be a relief for Billy. Not to have to go on some kind of a prolonged period of time away from the table. He's going to get back to the table to at least make a decision here momentarily.
I think I would roll the 6 out on top of the 3 and drift down to this end rail here. I think if he rolls out anywhere down here, he's going to be hooked. Of course, one thing about certain types of rollout, you know that the hook isn't going to be that bad, meaning you're not going to be froze. The object ball isn't going to be that far away from you. And these guys jump at the ball so well that if you don't hook them just right, they can jump out of it very easily.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's going to get put behind the 4 here, you would suspect. But it's a shot that if you don't hit it well, you give up the game.
Right. It's a shallow enough angle here that there's not a whole lot of latitude for the cue ball. If you hit it thick or thin, the cue ball can easily get around the 4.
I don't think he can afford to pass it, though. What's he going to do?
No.
Okay. No, that was good. Very containing.
From where he was at, that's not a bad result. It looks like Ko could possibly cut it thin. Looks like you can see an edge of it. But
And go down by the 3. Or if he can see a lot of it, I don't think he can move the 1 very far and get past the side pocket. So one thing about Billy, though, is the way he played it, probably wasn't going to give up the game, and he didn't take the danger of letting anything leak out on him and give up an offensive shot. So pretty well played overall, pretty containing because he knew he couldn't pass the shot.
Right. It's so much easier to play safe when you have to play safe from there as opposed to you have to make the decision, do I want to play safe? So psychologically, that's a component too. And Ko, Billy's turned the tables. Billy was in kind of a tough spot. Now Ko's in kind of a tough spot here, decision-wise and then execution-wise after that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to do. This is very touchy because, like I said, he can't get the one all the way across behind the 2, I think, and still drop down below near the 3 with the cue ball. So I think he's got to go. Okay, that's a nice touch there.
That is.
Now he threw it quite a ways with some English and hit it thicker. That way he could hit before the side and just carry the cue ball down to the end rail and take his chances on the snooker.
Well, that is, we were talking about beforehand the player's strengths, and that's the tactical side that I'm saying that Ko is particularly good at the billiard side of pocket billiards. That was a pretty handy shot. Takes some experience and some nerves to play that.
And he could see a lot more of it than I thought he could, Mark, as far as... Billy got the cue ball to the end rail. Now, is the 1 going to get up by the 9? Ooh.
Yeah. It's always frightening, isn't it?
A little bit. And when you get the cue ball up there where you kind of want it, probably if you miss. And
right. Now, you hate to paint a guy into the corner and force him to play a combination that he doesn't want to.
Well, I think he's laying on a scratch. I think he'll have to elevate. I don't think he can hit this with a high ball.
If he does, he'll have to go warp drive to get it to stay off the tangent line or stay on the tangent line.
Like really, so it'll bounce kind of off the 1 a little bit, you mean?
Right.
I don't think he's going to catch the 6 like he thinks he is. I think he's got to elevate.
Yeah, I don't think he's thinking. I think he's going to warp around the 6.
Really? Yeah, I didn't like anything about that, that's for sure.
No, he kind of...
Big opportunity for Billy.
Rearranged the furniture there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, though, he didn't look at playing safe, because I don't think that shot was really laying right.
No, not being that close to the end rail or all that. I mean,
it was almost like he got fixated on trying to go for something that wasn't there.
Billy's got to have nice speed coming 2 rails across here. You don't want to be playing no combination here on the 2-3. That's for sure.
He hit the pocket real clean, and it was just that sensitive of a shot, so I can't fault his judgment on that.
No, it was the right shot. It was just took a... you got to get enough on it to get it going, to catch that second rail, and
right.
It doesn't take much for it to get away from you now. He's just got to bear down and pocket this 2 in the corner, I think.
Yeah, I think the corner is the better choice.
That's one,
Or safe. He can roll ahead. I don't like playing safe, but maybe he feels better that way.
He's playing safe. I'm pretty surprised at that, really. Oh, that's going to get away from him. That got away from him a little bit.
He tried to do too much at the end. He could have cinched the cue ball there, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, he could have for sure. Just kind of laid it behind it, you mean?
Yeah. Trying to move both balls like that because you don't want to let this guy back in here.
Well, the way the corner pockets are playing, I really liked him being offensive on that 2 ball. Because he had to cut it a bit, but it wasn't going to be at a high rate of speed, so the pocket was pretty big, especially from that angle.
Yeah. He tried to be something that he's not, and he went away from his absolute strength would be shot making. Oh, Ko's faltering a little bit in this rack. I don't know what he's given up, but boy, he didn't even come close to the pocket on that one.
I don't know if he's given up much.
That looks bad for Billy.
Well,
sure.
3/8's playable. If he can get at this 2, he's all right. But if he's got to curve it, if he's got to curve this ball here, he's got a big chance of scratching with right off the 6. So I don't know if I like this at all. This is, even if he hits it good, he made a good hit. That's for sure. That was one of them shots. I mean, you almost got to shoot it anyways, but I think if he made it, cue ball was going to spin off that 6 and going to be close to that scratch in the corner.
So Jeremy's saying Billy's lucky he missed.
Well,
I'm just joking.
You know, Brown, you never know. It might not have scratched, but that's why you saw him kind of undercurve it too. Because if he hit it with speed, at full speed with the curve, he was definitely going to send it towards the scratch. He was trying to be delicate with the curve shot. So he's going to have to cut this 3 a little bit, huh, Mark?
Yeah, but it's not a whole lot because if you go soft, it's playing position on the secondary object ball, the 3 ball from this.
Right, but I mean, anytime they're that close together and you got to cut them a little bit, the cue ball is going to have some speed, and so's the 3.
I think if he goes soft, I think he can go right at it. I think,
Oh, really?
yeah, because
Oh,
the
okay.
pocket's playing pretty big. It
Oh,
might
okay.
stuff
I
the
thought
rail.
there was more cut than that. Okay.
We're about
So-
to find out.
You may not even have to hit it that soft.
Oh, he went power. Uh-oh, got away from him, too. He's going to be really disappointed that he didn't pick up position on that if it was that dead.
Well, this is touchy. He needs to really just edge it and go right towards the 4 with the cue ball, the pink 4. He could come back behind the 7 as well.
Sometimes I like to go rail first with the inside. It seems to diminish the power that the 3
Your
goes across.
movement of the 3, yeah.
But you still have to pick up a rail after you do that, though, is the
Yeah.
only thing. And you went for this. 50-50?
No, it's a nice play.
Yeah.
Knowing he had to get it all the way over, you can't leave that jump shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did a good job with that. I think he felt that was the most certain way.
Well,
pick
he
up
had
the-
two balls for blockers, too. Billy with the cue ball should be going up table with the 3. If the 3 comes back down, things might be... Wow. Whew. How's the 7 going to get where he can't make it? No. It's going to give up a shot, and a good one for Mr. Coe. Is he thin enough to easily go back and forth? I think so. I don't think it's totally necessary, but I think it's all right going back and forth.
Yeah, I think he has to go 2 cushions across. I don't think he can be cute and go inside.
Oh, it's
No,
skid again.
I don't know if it's skidded or...
Well, it had a funny spin on it. The 3 did, that's for sure. It wasn't rolling end over end.
He kind of pulled out of that right away, though, too.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if the late evening has gotten to him a little bit. He's kind of some uncharacteristic strokes, you might say.
mm-hmm.
Billy can lay the cue ball behind the 6-9 pretty easily. Could go for the bank. If the bank's playable, he's going for the bank. Could put him behind the 4 as well with the cue ball. There's a few options. I think the 6-9 is the best play.
I do, too. I think you can thin because you can control that 3 and likely use the 7 as well.
Right. You can just ease your way down here behind him. Just letting the 3 bounce off the rail a little bit, maybe.
Going behind the 4, if you leave an edge of it, you can end up with the worst of that pretty easily.
Well, he's trying to use the 7 as well, I think, if he goes behind the 4. Like so.
And this is the problem.
Yeah, he's left him a little bit, I think.
Yeah, now Coe has a chance. I think your shot, but of course we have the benefit of years more of making the wrong decision. So
Oh, yeah.
that's the one thing it's easy to sit here and say, well, that's because it's just, we're only talking about fractions.
And he's going to elevate the cue here. He doesn't have to, though. I think he may be able to hit this with enough right to come right into the 7 with the cue ball. Just level out, knock this in with top right, and come right into the 7. Hit the 7 real meaty, real thick, and hold for the 4 in the corner. I don't think he can even come across, so. Playing a little bit of a 2-way.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Missed it on the pro side, overcut it a little bit.
Yeah, this is...
Now, Billy should probably go 2 cushions here, right?
Yeah, you can try to get cute and come 2 cushions and nip it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Here we got the overhead
yeah.
if you want to demonstrate it.
Yeah, come 2 cushions like so, nip the 3, and then let the cue ball run over here, and the 3 goes up the side rails. Pardon me for my not so straight lines. And that was all right there as well. Definitely holding the cue ball and taking his chances, at least making Coe come with a long shot if he did give up something offensive. This isn't easy. He's getting down on this, banking it down, back down table like this is easy, and it's not.
No, but he thinks it comes with, the reward, and there's also the backdoor safety attached to it, and you're a long ways away. So I do think he's going to play the bank.
Oh, I thought he was banking it down table like
Nope,
this.
he's going safe.
Yeah. And he hit it great.
Oh, boy.
Great shot.
What a great shot that was.
He may have given up a cut. It's real close. May have given up a cut shot here.
He'll be really, his feelings will be hurt if he gave up a cut shot. And Billy definitely is looking at it, see if he can cut it. Needs to keep his head still here.
Great shot there. And he's got some work left, though. You'll notice he's not natural on the 4 to move the cue ball without scratching in that corner. Can't draw because of the 9, so he's going to have to draw with some spin. That being low right. We're kind of punching it 3 rails, maybe. This is where coming 3 rails for the side, I think, can get you, but he's all right with it.
Boy, what a nice hit that was.
And Billy just a couple pretty easy ones here from tying the score at 6 apiece. This is where you don't have to get as punchy as a lot of people think. Cue ball moves out pretty easily on this table. Oh, he's just holding for the other corner. Okay, nice shot.
Less is more. No sense moving the cue ball if you don't have to.
Yeah.
Makes the pocket play much more generously. And there it is, 6-6. Well, this has been a very entertaining match thus far.
Oh, yeah.
Billy's still playing at an 875 clip.
This is day 1 of the 2018 International. A lot of great matches in the books already.
You're not kidding.
Tyler Starr playing one heck of a match earlier against Niels Fan. Niels missing a few balls in the middle of it. And then really I thought Tyler got the best of the break. That was really the biggest determining factor in my opinion.
For me, when I watched it, I thought it was his composure that won it. I thought he really stayed with it. He had, when Niels tied it up 8-8, he never showed a flicker of quit.
Yeah.
And he battled through a couple of real tough racks.
9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are now open for play. Tables 9,
Okay, Billy the Kid on the right side of the break box as he faces it. 7 ball on the wing. That hasn't been going hardly at all. The 1 ball rattled the side pocket, but did not drop.
Is the one gonna? Oh. This is going to be a difficult one as far as trying to move the rack.
Yeah. Well, if there is a problem, everything comes with some kind of a problem. The template is a great thing for equity, but it's an awkward thing for these parts. You got to move it with multiple balls in the way and slick gloves on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he thinks he can shoot the 1s just straight on into the 9, hold his ball behind the 8, and the 1 get across. But it looks like to me maybe the 2 ball will slow the 1 down maybe.
Oh, what a nice shot that was.
Yeah, nice
what
touch.
a shot. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
made that look easy, and that was far from easy.
Yeah, if you don't get it wedged right in behind the 2 somehow, so that you only have about 7 inches of area there and quite a bit of travel.
Billy's going to be kicking at 1, though. This one ain't that bad, and it's there's a lot of congestion here, so a lot of good things can happen.
This is one you'd like to hit the lower hemisphere of the one ball.
Oh, yeah, you'd like to. The main thing is just don't blast it. Don't rearrange everything. You know, you got a lot of good things that can happen. You got balls that are a little funny already, so a nice hit. I like that speed, that kind of like medium. You know, I'm pretty confident I'm going to hit it with this speed, but I'm not doing anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Long, tough one here. I'm not sure he has a totally clean route either to get back down. I think he's just got to take his chance coming 2 rails right at the 7, maybe. Kind of at the 2 a little bit. I don't think he can flirt coming 2 rails in between the 4-6 to come down cleanly for the 2 ball. I think he's just got to take his medicine. Like that. I think that's all he could do, and if it dresses up nice for an offensive shot, it does. But if it doesn't, he should be able to play some type of safety.
All right. Be able to protect himself.
Yeah. Tournament pool decisions, which really is the correct way to play in other kinds of matches, whether it be an action match or challenge match of some sort, league match, whatever you may play. Meaning, he's not taking the chance for something really bad to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get these games back in this race to 11.
All right. He handled the cue ball quite nicely. Got it behind the 7.
And Billy should hit this 1 rail, I believe. I don't know if he has the 2 rail. But one thing about being a great banker, it really blends to being a great kicker at the ball too. Now, not always decision making, but the hit part of it. And he's going to try and swerve his ball between the 3 and 5, I believe, and come catch 2 rails down here for the 2. Is that right? I don't think he can naturally get to it. Maybe with just a straight high ball. It looks like to me he's got to curve it if he's going to go between those.
Unless he digs down on it a little bit.
You mean to the right of the 5?
I think he's looking at 2 cushions is what I meant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, 2 cushions, but it looks like to me, yeah, the 1 cushion is, he doesn't have to, I like the 1 cushion. He can shoot at it naturally. I think the 2 cushions in between the 3-5, he really has to bend the cue ball.
Well, he's bending it. Yeah, he's going at it 1 rail.
Well, he keeps getting that cue ball in the end rail. If he keeps doing that, he'll like his his outcome. I mean, of course, he gave a shot up, but
The 4 ball mercifully tied up on the 8.
gotta shoot at this though and see what happens. Oh wow!
Overcut it again. That was the same way he missed the long, thin cut that he had earlier.
Billy shouldn't take a chance at going into the 4-8 here, that's for sure. But trying to think of a way he could break on the 3, and I just don't immediately see anything that's great. Now he'll play for the bank on the 4 though. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, he's going at it this way.
That's clever. That's more of like a bar table shot you would shoot, because missing this ball is like never on a bar table. Wouldn't be horrible though, like I said, if he just played for the bank, excuse me.
Right. You can easily, this doesn't free itself from the rail all that easily either and give you a shot. You can double kiss it and kind of get yourself in a bind.
And that's what I was about to say. If you catch the 8, you could hit the bottom of the 8 and come down by the 9, which would be horrible.
You might be able to split these though from here. You just ease into it. Get the cue ball on the other side of the 8.
I think he's looking at putting him behind the 9.
Yeah, it might not be laying right for the shot that I
Yeah,
was
he can
describing.
kind of double bank the 4 and put him behind the 9. Nice touch there, and
Yeah, real well done.
mm-hmm. So Billy kind of turning the tides tactically against Coe.
This takes a pretty good shot because it's not near the rail, so you have a smaller target. You have a 7-inch target rather than maybe 11.
On the slick table, you got to play for a little bend of the ball like that, and that gets away from you. That's why I tell people whenever they're playing on the slick table like this, don't ever play a natural high English kick shot whenever you have that much room where the ball has a chance to bend. You're better off going shorter, and you control it with English. You control how the ball goes with English rather than just have that straight high ball in there. Very hard to kick on a slick table with a straight high ball, especially when the ball's away from the rail like you were talking about, kind of out in space. Now, is the 7 past the 9? It's kind of important. I believe it does. It's pretty perfect there. You got to be aware here. The main thing here is stay off the rail with the cue ball coming back across on the 7. Billy very aware of that.
Nice approach to the 7. If he only has a part of a pocket, being this close really helps.
Yeah, he can draw the cue ball out easily. I don't think that's going to get it.
Hello, cross-eyed. I just don't feel that he's going to want to play
He's
safe
got to
here.
slow roll it, though. Oof.
Yeah,
Or going
backhand.
into the 9 with the cue ball, one of the two.
That's too iffy. I don't think he should bank it, even though he is a great banker.
Well, what do? You just lay the cue ball behind the 9, right? The 8 out in the middle of the table. 8 out here in the middle and just drop behind the 9 with the cue ball, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of travel to that also.
Yeah, but at least the guy's got to come with a long one, and you should be able to lay the cue ball down pretty easily.
Look at that shot.
Wow, great
Look
shot.
Look at that shot. Good heavens. Well, that's the right shot for Billy Thorpe, but it's the wrong shot for the rest of us.
Yeah, you hit it well.
22 years old. Unbelievable knack for banking. He manufactured the bank, takes the lead 7-6. Hello, April Larson. She's tuned in. Glad to have you aboard.
Billy grabbing that lead back again.
Yeah, that was a big game. He fought hard to get that game. There was a lot of back and forth there.
And he played 2 or 3 really nice safeties.
I completely agree.
Neither one of these players has been near as successful as past players on this table earlier today, in my opinion. Seen a lot of balls made on the break here.
Well, the cloth might be getting a little bit broken, and the other thing is that, like you said, the late hour, maybe they're just lost a little focus.
Strength.
Yeah, a little focus degrading.
Okay, he's made the one on the side. He's going to get a nice shot on the 2. And a nice angle to come across for the 3. So,
Oh, boy.
talk about a huge game late in the match.
Yeah, and how hard he fought to win the previous game could really be rewarded here if he can get out from the break.
Okay, he doesn't want to get flat on this 4 because not so much getting to the 5, but you'll see the 6 is back down table, so he wants to gain nice position on the 4 so he can get on the 5 easily to get on the 6, and this is what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one you don't want. Oof. I mean, it's laying horribly. You could creep it out for the 5 on the side, but you're going to have a lot of angle on the 5. Going to be really tough to move the cue ball back for the 6. So
He's going left English.
Left, he's trying to spin it out. Oh, he's trying to cheat the pocket.
And that pocket will not accept it at that velocity.
Well, yeah, and that was a little bit of a funny angle, and I think we're going to get a timeout here.
Yeah, the big Co going to take a moment, collect himself, and we will rejoin you guys just in a few minutes.
And he's got to pay attention as well. He's got definitely a lot more angle to work with on the 4 than Billy did. I don't see him going 3 rails all the way around it, though. Wow.
He stuffed it into the pocket a little bit fat, and that's why his ball speed was off a hair.
Yeah, but he had to get all the way over to the, like, he's getting behind, on top of the 9. He's getting, I just didn't see how he was going to get the real nice angle to come back for the 6 that way, but nevertheless, I thought he might come 2 rails and shoot it in the side, and then he could just go up by the side and cut the 6 pretty easy, but hard to fault this man. That one he better talk to a little bit. That one he better say a little something to. Oof. Real close to that 8 ball.
And once again, he's got a little work in front of him here because he's got really straight in. Is he going to draw back? I guess so. At least
He's
he
going
didn't
to force it a little bit with a high ball. And now he's cueing low. So he's on the tweener here.
At least he didn't get lodged onto the cushion. That would have made it worse.
Well, that's too much. That's too much.
Now he's got to be a shot maker.
Yeah, it's a shot you really should practice every day if you're trying to be a pool player, that's for sure. When I hit balls, I definitely practice this shot a lot. It gives you a lot of feel. It gives you a lot of feedback on how your stroke is. If the stroke's, you're not going to really aim bad on this. If the stroke's good, it cuts very nicely and the 7 turns over and walks down the rail. When the timing's off, you just chunk it right thickly usually. You might even hit before the side whenever the timing's off a little bit. Oof, okay.
That was a good hit.
Yeah, cut very cleanly.
That was smoothly played.
We're going to have another tied score here after 14 games at 7 apiece. I mean, if you're in Billy's corner, if you're Billy, you might be thinking, hey, with this many opportunities, I probably should have won this match already, maybe, with just a few things. Not saying that he's played poorly. He's obviously played well. He's shooting 857.
All right.
But as far as when it comes to opportunities, he's had a few more than Co, that's for sure. But, I mean, psychologically, what do, Mark? Do you try to teach yourself to play in the now, or do you try to learn how to deal with a mistake? Or are they both the same thing?
Oh, I think you should be all built in about your next opportunity at the table. You know he's going to play good. Then what are you worried about that for? It's what you do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're all open for play. The tokens that are required are for sale in the machine located in the corner of the ballroom, the front right corner.
I always say if you came here looking for an easy match, you've come to the wrong place. So
No easy match, that's for sure.
If you're looking for a break or something, you should be practicing.
He's hit him quite a bit lighter overall in this match than Billy and than most of the other guys. That was a nice timing there, though. He got one down, and he's got a shot on the 1.
Yeah, that time the cue ball sailed through the rack and punched the 9 ball. 2 balls hanging deeply.
Now we'll see if the 3 passes the 5. He won't try and collide with anything, but if not, good chance he may try and draw this back into one of them balls with the 2 hanging.
Right. Try to develop it.
Yeah, a little bit. You can't go forward and try and move the 5. That's a little too dangerous. I think getting snookered, even though it would be an easy jump shot for these guys. But this type of shot, you like to cue down on a little bit, right?
Right. And it makes the ball go in the pocket just a little easier for you because you can have kind of let your stroke out. Then the cue ball naturally wants to go towards the 3. I think he is going to play that type of a shot where he goes after the 3 ball with the cue ball here.
Yeah, and then the 3 may go by the 5, but it doesn't appear to have an entire pocket. So if he comes into the 4 or the 3, he should open up. Yeah, like so. Nice shot.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Few shots though I've seen him. He hasn't stayed down through the shot quite as well as I've seen him play before. Just a little jumpy, and I wouldn't say that's the situation as far as 7-7. He's been in this situation a lot of times. I think it's a little bit of the late evening. A little bit of fatigue can make you jump up a little bit. Can create a little uncertainty.
Right. And he struggled throughout the match, too.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
His confidence is not at its all-time peak.
And he should definitely try and hold his ball for the 4 in the side or in the corner he's standing over right here. It just depends on how much draw he gets, like so. Got a lot of draw. Now he's going to get over this. Okay, that's going to be just perfect, actually.
Yeah.
He's good. He's fine. I just got to make a decision how he wants to get from the 5 to the 7 to the 8. You can see the 8's covered up a little bit by the 9.
It's kind of been a funny rack. The balls were fairly open. They're all apart, but the arrangement of the balls made it tricky to negotiate.
Yeah, I don't think he should hold his ball too much here. I think he needs to let his stroke out and get to the left side of the 5 a little. That would make things, and he used a little more draw to do it rather than just going over, which I think was correct.
Yeah, the draw allowed him to use a softer speed rather than try to force it. He could glide it in there, maintain the cue ball close to the 5, but pick up the angle.
Okay, you just don't want to get too thin on the 7 here. That's the key. You can go forward or you can come down to the bottom and get on the 8 either way. If you got thin, now you make the 7 missable and position a little funny. But now that he's full, he can roll forward, no problem. Now, I think he was checking right there, hey, can I use the rail as a reference here? Like so. And that's always nice when you can use that rail.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one skid too a little bit. Did you see it turn a hair?
Well, nice time for a break and run out here at 7-7. And he had to do a lot of work there, Davey. He developed a 3, then got through the rest of the balls there.
And made a nice shot on the 1. Had some distance on the 1.
Yep. 8-7 Co in front of Billy Thorpe. You know, the other thing is that in pool, all the money's won after midnight, as you would well know. And fitness comes in because it's not that you can't stand there. It's as the focus gets hazy and gray, that's when you lose some of that clarity in there. And that's why you really do need that fitness component if you want to compete at this level.
Well, yeah, there's some anxiety of the first day. Everybody wants to get off with that first win, get on the right side, get going the right way, and you know,
Right.
both these guys know it's a big match playing one another. They've played each other quite a bit actually lately. I think he played him in China. They both played in China and then somewhere else. I'm trying to remember because Billy and I were talking about it, and then Billy was ousted Hill in both those matches. So, you know, thinking all day, you're waiting around for the last match
Yeah.
to start. There's a lot of things that can creep in your head.
All right. Well, go ready to break. If you can range in the one ball here, it's been going past the side pocket pretty regularly. Well past
There's
the
that
side.
kiss again. And a 1-9 combination if it opens up. No. Wow. So he's gotten 3 kisses, 2 on the bottom side of a ball and scratching in the corner, and then 1 on the top side of a ball and scratching in the side earlier in the match. So. Yeah, I would have to follow my ball, I believe, if I can. I'm not sure he even can. Okay, he's playing safe, it looks like.
Well, it looks like you can stick him in the pile there.
Yeah, I know, but I would have to investigate trying to run out. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, these guys, I'm not worried about the guy having a jump shot here, of course. But if you find these guys are incredible kickers, all the great players are. Not sure he has anything here, though, besides elevated over and kicking 2
Yeah.
rails.
Billy got him in there pretty deep, so.
Yeah, he's going to have to use a bridge, I think. Oh, he's looking at zigzagging the cue ball. Oh, okay. It's going to be a neat one. Kicking in between the 8 and 3, and then back out in between the 8 and 5. So
That's a tribute to how effective the safety is. He's got to warp these angles. Didn't even come close.
now he's on 2 fouls.
When you see the 3-foul rule will not be coming into effect here, hopefully.
Well, not planned, anyways.
Right.
I could see maybe if he got out of line on the 6 later on, but the way the 5 is, it would be hard to get that funny on the 6, you would think.
Any time that you make a pro look that bad on a kick, you've made a really good safety.
So Billy just comes straight up the table in between the 5 and the 3. Doesn't you want to get elevated? Oof. And that's the type of little things that you got to pay attention to, though.
That is a little bit maybe of inexperience or something. And if anything, I would fault Billy's game on is sometimes his patterns are a little bit loose.
Well, yeah, and that wasn't that bad. I'm just saying, acknowledge it's there. You know, if you look, you're gonna see it. You're gonna say, okay, well, let me make sure I just stay a little wide of that and make sure that doesn't happen, because that could have been a killer. Getting elevated on that ball. Now, he's got a little off angle here to where he's got to put some speed to get out, or he's got to kind of pinch it a little bit to hold for the 7 in the opposite corner, which I think that's what he'll do.
That allows him to take a lot of the pace out of the cue ball so that he doesn't have to punch it in there.
Okay, kind of had a glance there on an earlier shot. The 8 barely goes by the 9 in the side, so we'll see. It's a little tight, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's going to draw around and play it in the corner. No?
Well, he kind of got on the 50 on a bunch of stuff there now. Okay, he's looking at the cut in the side. No? Well, yeah, he is.
Did he get there?
He got there.
Whoa.
Wasn't convincing, but he got there. He's got to shave it, though, and get to that side rail. Should be all right.
You're right. 8-8 is our score now. Pretty nice run out. Billy shakes his head, glances up at Double J, wants some reinforcement from Skyler. Glass of water.
Well, I think these guys, like I said, I think are a little bit fatigued from the opening day here and playing the last match.
Yeah, it's 1:30 a.m. at this point. Nearly.
I'm guessing everyone played the round one is complete after this match, is what I'm guessing. There may be some early tomorrow, huh?
I think there is.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Or am I right? Let's see. No, I think you're right. Because Pat Fleming told me that we're doing 3 matches tomorrow evening, which means we're not doing much during the day. So I suspect this does conclude the first round. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a race to 3 now at 8 apiece.
There's
A
the
little
one
movement on the
side.
9. He's going to get a shot on the 2. It's not easy. Safety's not easy either.
No, everything's
There's
ugly here.
there's a lot of gaps there. You can't just chip the 2 and lay down behind the 7, 2 to the side rail behind the 8, 9, something like that. But you can't quite bank the 2 straight back up the table and run the cue ball. So
Extension.
Well, Billy seems to have made up his mind.
I was thinking he may bank it back straight up and down the table, run the cue ball at the table. Oh, wow. He kind of went after it.
Got very quick on his backswing and transition.
Yeah, and that was that wind-up. There's like a build-up of speed during the pre-strokes, and it's really, really a bad flaw, in my opinion anyways. Pre-strokes aren't anything for build-up, that's for sure. They're for a little bit of confidence, comfort, checking your work, get your timing,
Yeah.
make you feel good about what you're about to do. Billy's not, his stroke doesn't lack any power, doesn't need to build up to draw the ball or hit the ball hard at all, so.
Well, you don't build up anyway because you got to change direction. So fast back.
Right, but you know what I mean. Like
Right.
There's like a wind up, like a constant motion, basically, which usually means there's more speed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anybody that says, "Oh no, I'm confident. I'm not worried," well, the stroke just gave it away. We know you were scared.
okay, now he was looking at a 2-9 there for a half a second, but he better just chip the 2 behind the 9 and drop down here by the 6 is what I think he ought to do. He's looking at the 2-9 and dropping below the 6. Wow. Wow. What a shot.
That was a shot. Scored an off-angle combination into a small, slender portion of the side pocket. 9-8. It's hard to fault Billy for going after anything, though, because the ball's laid so ugly after the
No,
break.
I didn't mind it being offensive at all. I anticipated actually the way that there wasn't anything easy about the safety, that's for sure.
We just would have preferred to use the quality swing at that point.
Yeah. And it's a little different than the beginning of the match. Billy was a little smoother with his delivery and a little cleaner. And now as the match has gone on, it's got a little bit more active, you may say. I got to tell people, I always believe when people say, "Oh, he makes it look easy," in my opinion, that means it's not the results. It's the actual motion of what they're doing that makes it look easy, like they're effortless. And so
Yeah.
all of us should try to get to our most simple motion possible. I always bring up Bustamante. How when he was younger, he had much more of a pump than he does now. Now, in the last 15 years or so, 20 years, he's become much more clean on his delivery. So, and it's just like this guy about to break the balls, this man here.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Well, let's see what he does with the one ball here. It's gone well behind the side pocket every single time.
I think he wants that, but he just doesn't want as much of a kiss on the cue ball because he's making another ball. A lot of guys are trying to play the one. One thing about that, if you're not smashing them, the one kind of helps you get another ball behind the line for the three-point rule. If you're
Right.
making it, that's one that goes away.
True that.
So a difficult situation here. It looks like, he could just roll this up and put him behind the 6 and the 2, but any bit of a roll-off or miss hit right here, the cue ball goes into that 6 and the one ball comes out and you give up a shot.
Now, if you're a millimeter off, you can look real bad doing that.
And you want to get the one on the end rail, so that makes it easier to actually hit a hair on the left side, like so. That's what happens. You want to get the one to the back rail on this shot. That's what makes you give up this little bit of a window.
Billy's got the extension.
And this is another one that's funny. You think you can just bank it up, get him easily behind the 2 and the 6, but he's not even going to do that. That's how difficult it is.
I think he's going thin.
Yeah, he's
trying
going
to get
the
the
other
cue
way.
ball along. He's got a lot of balls to introduce. Blocker balls.
He didn't get there, I don't think. I think he may have even given up an offensive shot.
Well, he's elevating. He's going to masse at this?
No, he's just trying to stop his ball.
Oh.
Yeah, like so. I'm not sure he can get anywhere on the 3. There's a little bitty space right there, yeah, where he's looking. Although, if he really didn't like it, he could send the 2 around and put him on the back of the 6, no problem. But I think he's laying pretty natural here where he can play the 2 in the corner, hit right before the side, and just kind of float up for that little bit of a cut on the 3 in the upper left-hand corner.
Well, I'm telling you, that world-class pool, if he gets the 3 in the corner here.
Oh, he got there.
He did. Now, me, I would have defaulted towards what Grady would call an extreme act of cowardice. I would have stuck the cue ball on the 6 as best I could.
Good thing here is he can just level out and come one rail right back for the 4 on the side, I believe. I don't think he has to maneuver the cue ball any. I think he's got enough cut to where he naturally avoids the scratch in the side. I don't think he's used his extension yet, but the shot clock, you can see it's creeping.
Right, he has not because he has the green light, which
Right.
means he does have it. Billy has used his. Pretty important shot right here, too. I don't blame him for taking some time.
Well, it's one that you don't play a whole lot of, even if the 4 wasn't there. It's just that angle, so he's getting a couple different looks at it to make sure, hey, if I look at it 2 or 3 times and it looks like that's the hit, like it keeps looking like that's the spot, well, okay, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he recognized that was a pivotal point in this match. Don't want to go halfway at it. You want to be really committed.
That's a lot of speed there. That's a lot of speed there now. It may work out, but he certainly wasn't trying to play for that lower left by the 8, I don't believe.
No, I think he was trying to get to the side pocket.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think the draw took a little bit much.
Well, I thought he would just come in 2 rails for the lower right-hand corner.
Well, maybe.
But he wanted to hit it enough to where it deflected off the 4 so it doesn't go towards that corner a little bit. It got to that end rail.
In any event, his speed was way off because he did not want to finish up here.
Yeah, fortunate the 5 passes the 8. And again, he's should be all right. Just a straight high ball. Come down. Go ahead and be aggressive coming down towards the 8. You could catch the second rail if you wanted. I wouldn't advise it. Oh, he kind of punched it a little bit. Okay. Seemed like he could have followed 1 rail to about where he's at right now. No problem. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, he
I caught that point right there. It was going to stall the cue ball, and it wouldn't have got there. But
he
now,
was pretty comfortable, though, because he kept real smooth through that. And Big Co goes on the hill, 10 games to 8.
yeah, and his first 2-game lead, and what a time to get it. First 2-game lead of the match. He's been up by 1 game 3 different times. Billy had several leads in this match, mainly early, and then a couple of them late.
It's been an extremely entertaining match here. A lot of different twists and turns. I see John Schmidt in the audience out there, observing.
And now, I didn't see him play anybody today. Did he get a bye maybe? There was a few byes.
No, he played a great set against a top Asian or Chinese player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, he played a great set. He's a lot of fun. Do you ever get to commentate with him?
I think we did just maybe 30 minutes of a 1-pocket match. He stepped in for a little bit some years ago.
Well, you'd like it. It'd keep you laughing the whole time.
I like to laugh. That's for sure.
No, Smitty has a good time. Alex Pagulian has joined the proceedings. He's waving all the other fans here.
Yeah, maybe waiting to get a little late night practice in. He won earlier, and most of the guys on the winner's side don't play till a little bit later in the day tomorrow.
Well, here we go. This will be the last break of the match for Co. He might be relieved and I have to break again after this.
Right?
He hasn't had that much success.
But that's that corner ball, and that's why I think he's trying to track the 1 around 3 rails like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think he would like the cue ball to end up a little higher up, but, made 2 balls. He's definitely going to play the 1 somehow, probably cross the corner.
I almost think he might just go 2 long rail if we get the overhead and just bank the 1 for here.
Right.
For safety, as opposed to go after it in the corner and possibly risk giving up a shot.
For sure. Yeah, I was just saying that I don't think he'll roll out. I think he'll definitely shoot away somehow on the 1 here. And like Mark said, he'd be better off to just make a clear-cut decision on what he wants to do. No gray area at the professional ranks. That's what he did. He played it definitely with a lot of force. Now he wants that cue ball to run a little bit, or else he may leave a jump shot or even a window. This is real close.
Yeah.
He may be able to just slightly swerve the cue ball in between these balls and have a chance to attack on this one, Mark.
He tried to twist it with spin, and he got a little more squirt, and so he didn't get quite the pace into the one ball because he hit it a little thinner than he really intended, I believe. Tried to bring the cue ball 3 cushions down below the clutter.
He can make it. Billy looks motivated on this one. Big shot here for Billy Thorpe. Great shot.
Sure was.
Now, is he going to get any reward? Did this get makeable?
It's thin, but he's close, so he may go after it.
Ooh, this is really thin. This looks like, looking at the table, it looks really thin to me. This may be more like Bank City to me. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Look at Billy.
Great shot.
Such a confident banker.
Just a straight high ball here. He should be able to get away with that. Coming out 2 rails, maybe a hair of left English. Good shot. Good speed.
Good shot there, too.
Yeah, just a hair off,
He wanted to use a little extra pace,
yeah.
so he didn't have to float it in there and maybe get a little doggish or waver in his cue. Yeah, that was a solid stroke.
I'll tell you, Koping, he's look at this late hour. That ball's got to fall right in that gap with the cue ball.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of ways for him to get that tangled up, but it didn't. Billy made a nice series of shots. They were not that easy. 10-9's our score. Thorpe is trailing but breaking. On my way out here, we stopped by the Diamond Table Factory and took a tour. Unbelievable.
In Louisville?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Jeffersonville,
Yeah,
Indiana, but
yeah.
yes, Louisville.
Suburb.
Really worth doing. Really interesting.
How big is it?
It's enormous.
Is it?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
cue ball. Ooh. He didn't make one either, though. But
Well, not giving up ball in hand is imminently okay. He looks up here, shakes his head. He wasn't really shaking his head so much about not making the ball. It was more the angst of possibly scratching, I think.
yeah, this is a difficult rollout. With the 8 and the 5 being there, you definitely you can't roll out and let him cue the entire ball. He's got to be on the rails somewhere, that's for sure. Now the 2's a little funny, so if you wanted to cover the 2 up a little bit and do a little something, that would be all right.
Mm-hmm. Is he moving the 3 over there in front of the 2? Is that the idea?
Yeah, somewhere over there, yeah. He's got to play the 1 down and run into the back of the 8, I think, with the cue ball. And let the 8 slow the cue ball down. Let the 1 come up by a 7 with the 5 being there. I think you got a big chance of hooking him here. I wouldn't get delicate here. I'd use the 8 to stop the cue ball. Like that.
Good call.
Yeah,
Good
and then
call.
float it down. you got a lot of good things that can happen. And if you hit it just right, you get a real nice snooker on the 8 as well. So
Right. I think Big Co put the cue ball there just so you couldn't possibly float to the 8. You had to
But
go
it
a
was
little
speed,
heavy.
yeah.
It was perhaps even hoping Billy would give it back, but Billy recognized that that was available and there was a lot of clutter that you could tangle things up with.
Well, I'm not sure what he's going to do, but as far as giving them back on the rollout, I learned it a long time ago from Nick Varner. As far as he preached to me, you just never give up the rollout. You know how bad it has to be, or the situation has to be absolutely perfect with the score and everything for you to give up the rollout. So, wow, what a nice hit that was.
Oh, amen. Well, now Co has got himself back into this rack here with the upper hand in the
Yeah.
moment.
No, he's got to be very accurate. If he makes it, he could come to the back of the 3 and get shape. And now he's giving up a shot.
Nice pass at it, though. He did hit it, so
Yeah, he hit it the right way. Coming 2 rails.
it didn't work out. But
This is going to be a little delicate left-handed, isn't it? Can he reach this right-handed? He shot a real nice shot left-handed earlier, so he doesn't need to catch the rail first here. He needs to catch ball first. So
and you got to be careful. You can get them separated on both sides of the 7.
yeah, not too happy about that, and that's mainly because just great players in all sports. They're aggressive-minded, so he wanted to try and run out here, which he may still, but
Ooh.
it's definitely gotten tougher.
He's going to have to elevate, spike down.
He's looking to see if I shoot the 2 and come right into the 4, I got an element of safety as well, and I might be able to run out right here. So, again, alluding to all sports, the top players in all sports are just aggressive. That's what the big part of them being great comes from is aggressive nature.
Well, this is an enormous shot. He has to bridge awkwardly over the 3, hit it thin, land heavy into the 4.
Yeah, but it looks like to me no English involved, just straight center downward. I think he'll come right into the 4. Now the funny thing to me is he doesn't have to come away with that great a shot on the 3. Could get a little funny on that as well. I caught it thick. That's going to give up a shot.
Not an easy shot, and much like you said that he was kind of flinching through the end of the stroke, it certainly looked like that. But that would be the bring shot they're bringing out of you. I almost flinched here, calling it
50 feet away. So I've often thought that shooting beside a ball is almost as hard as shooting over a ball. Great shot there, knowing that's all he could do. He really couldn't address it. Because if you try to address it with a lot of speed, because you're hitting solely side spin, man, the deflection's really hard to predict.
Well, he made a great shot there.
And he's got to come with another one here, and not really natural to get by the 4 for the same corner, so.
Another great
Yeah, he's
shot.
going to have a 4-6 combination, maybe. I don't think the 4 goes by the 6, does it? If it goes by the 6, he's home.
I think it does here on the overhead, but we'll see what he thinks. He's examining it.
Well, he's not. He doesn't look too disgusted about it. It might be tight, but I think he's going to go. He's going to get lucky, I think. It's close.
Yeah, that must have been really tight, and it did seem to bring about that little, what you were describing earlier, the buildup.
Yeah, the
thing.
build-up swing. There's just really no pause at the cue ball. And don't get me wrong, the pause at the cue ball isn't the fix-all. You really have to get command of the pre-strokes, but and I'm not just talking about Billy. I've seen it in many people. It really just kind of shatters the timing of the swing a little bit.
Yeah, you lose some rhythm for sure.
Yeah, it's something, if you look at all sports, they all have that nice rhythm on what they do beforehand. And wow, he made it. Kicked it right on in. Now, did he get corner hooked? I don't think he did.
Here on the overhead, boy, it is close.
Yeah. Now, I don't know Ko's game as well as I would like to, actually, just because I've got to be around him a lot. And but tonight he seemed a little bit aggressive at times. He's going here. He's not wasting any time. He's got to elevate. Wow.
He was playing at one rail, but it found the pocket in two rails.
Yeah.
To me, I never waste any energy apologizing because it's going to go the other way, too. And that's the game we're playing. If you want to apologize, play straight pool.
Well, yeah, it's just, I don't do a whole lot of it myself just because I know it all breaks even in a sense, you know what I mean?
No,
So,
right. And that's the game people want to see is the wild ram bam. Here we go. Make the 9 on the break, win. Well, looks like we're going 10-10.
no, Ko's on the hill. This is to win.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. It's my
Yeah. I believe he had told me that Ko Ping-Yi beat him hill the last 2 times. Oh, that was well overhit. Wow, that was that quick, jerkier stroke that I think has a lot to do with fatigue. Sometimes your mind says, I need a little more without you even knowing it. So.
And fatigue, when you fly all the way over here, you might have a little.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, I'm sure they've come early, a few days early. Asia, definitely. When I go to Asia, definitely like to go early. Ooh, used every bit of that pocket, and a big win for Ko Ping-Yi, and we'll see more Billy Thorpe, that's for sure.
Well, that's been another great edition of World Class 9 Ball from Accu-Stats, the worldwide leader in billiards programming. Ra Hanna will be here, so stay with us. That's our time for this time. Until next time, so long.
All right, Ra Hanna with Accu-Stats, and I have Ko Ping-Yi, one of the best players on the planet. And early on in this match, it seemed like his break wasn't working. How did he fix it?
他说一开始你的看球并不是很好，你怎么调整呢？就是因为我在平常在练习的时候，就是进球率还蛮高的，然后在这里就突然间又冲不进嘛，然后后来我就也不想太多，就当做平常练习的方法去冲这样子。
He just practice like usual and as usual in Taiwan, and so he don't think up too much.
Okay, he played a lot of great safeties too. And his jumps were fantastic. Does he practice his jump shot a lot?
你有没有练习很多的那个跳球？他说看你跳的。
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. That was Ko Ping-Yi from Accu-Stats. It's been a long day, but tune in tomorrow for some more great pool. Ko Ping-Yi, Accu-Stats, we're out.